All right, joining me now, Mollie Hemingway, editor-in-chief of The Federalist and Fox News contributor. Also with me, Ned Ryun, American Majority founder and CEO. Mollie, you see the panic button being hit on in several ways. But what does the media stand to gain here from just indulging in this fantasy that the people just don't understand how good it is under Biden?
Well, in recent years, we've seen the media go from mere bias, which we saw was very problematic for decades, into outright propaganda. They manufacture stories. They suppress stories. They put their hand on one side of the ledger for every single issue that affects elections. So what do they stand to gain? They gain power by advocating for their preferred political party. Just as you said, Laura, so many bad things are happening, and it's partly happening because the media are not covering the true story of what happens when one administration and other Democrat prosecutors try to imprison and bankrupt their political opposition. That's actually horrific, and yet you don't hear the media covering that honestly. They also don't cover any other issue honestly, whether it's border, crime, foreign policy, or anything else that we're dealing with.
Now, you know that the Democrats, Ned, are really panicking when they're lashing out at MSNBC.
Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine. And he has the worst.
I don't think that anybody can accuse me of that.
Oh, Nancy mad, Ned. Nancy mad. Poor old MSNBC. Like, God, we've been carrying his water for years, and now you're pushing back on us for like one comment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Katie Tur should never be accused of being an apologist for Donald Trump over the last 8 years, but whatever. I mean, I think the thing that as Mollie said, these corporate propagandists, I call them stenographers of the state, they do want power. They seek power. They're going to prop up this demented old fool as best they can to see if they can't get him reelected. But I think the thing we should understand about Biden, about the modern Democratic Party, about the corporate propagandists, they've been done with representative democracy for a very long time. I would argue for the last century with Woodrow Wilson, administrative state. But their idea of democracy is one-party rule, and they are in perpetual power. And really, when they talk about democracy, what I'm seeing and hearing is it's the wolf of authoritarianism clothed in sheep's clothing. That's what they're really talking about, Laura, and they're all working together to make sure they achieve that November 5th and continue to have perpetual power. That's where all their policies are aimed. They want to stop disinformation. They want to have a broken border to import new voters. They want to have perpetual power. Yeah. That's their idea of democracy.
Well, this idea, Mollie, that scaring voters is the key to defeating Trump when most people are so miserable in their own economic standing. Watch what they're trying to do. We'll get your comment on the other side.
The point that I think voters need to understand, that if they think this is just going to be a replay of the first Trump presidency, which was chaotic enough, that would be a huge mistake. And this is the task, of course, in 2024, is to actually try to very thoroughly imagine and describe what a presidency based on vengeance and retribution really looks like.
I mean, Mollie, the fact that people even pay attention to that gas bag at this point, I mean, I guess he hosted a radio show or hosts one, I don't know. But they keep doing the same thing. It literally is the definition, I think, of insanity at this point. Just see that type of face in your dictionary for insanity, and that's it.
Yeah, it absolutely is. We all lived through the Trump presidency. We all know what the economy was like. We all know that peace was breaking out. We saw historic Abraham Accords. We were moving towards securing our border. We were pushing back against some of the America-hating ideology that threatens to destroy the entire republic. We've also all lived under the Biden administration. And the idea that people don't want to return to a nicer situation for themselves and their family is absurd. It is true that there was chaos, but the chaos was entirely manufactured by the media. And the chaos was really about pushing back against Washington, D.C.'s destruction of America. And a lot of people say, I'd rather have personal success and chaos in D.C. than the way it is now, which is everything's going great from D.C.'s perspective, but horrible for the rest of the country.
Mollie, Ned, brilliant as always. Thanks so much.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.